Hallo meine Freunde, mein Name ist Nate und willkommen auf meinem YouTube-Channel. Ich komme aus Wyoming, aber ich lebe mit meiner Familie in Arizona. Ich bin verheiratet und meine Frau ist Deutsche. Wir haben zwei Söhne, Liam und Finn, und wir haben auch zwei Hunde, Vader und Ray. Ich mag Fußball, Fotografie und Reisen. Und ich lerne Deutsch. Well, now that might have been just a bit brutal and intimidating. So, for all you German speakers out there, I sincerely apologize if I just completely murdered the pronunciation, which I'm sure I did a few times. I hope you understood most of what I was saying. But with all of that, the point is that I'd like to start a new YouTube series of my journey of learning the German language. Now, like I said there in the intro, my wife is German, a native German, so there's no excuse for me to not know the German language, especially since we've been married for 22 years. So I think, you know, part of me is a little discouraged because after 22 years, I'm still not fluent in German. You know, if I would have been on top of things and learning the language and forcing myself to do it, I probably could be native level by now. I mean, at least I hope so. But it's never too late to start. And since we do have plans to move back to Germany permanently, I really need to learn German language. As a matter of fact, this countdown timer right here as my screensaver is the amount of time left in the United States before we move back to Germany, which is roughly 3 years, a little less than 3 years. So as soon as our youngest is out of high school, then we are moving to Deutschland. So I really need to get back into learning the language. However, full transparency, I do know some German. Obviously, I spoke to German at the beginning, so I won't claim to be learning a new language in 7 days or 30 days or 60 days or whatever, because I do know actually quite a bit more than I give myself credit for. I do know a lot of words. It's just the grammar part gives me a little trouble here and there. But I'm getting there. So I'd like to take you along on this journey with me. And in today's video, I'm just going to share 5 steps, basically 5 tips on how I plan to become more fluent in German, and hopefully give you some ideas or tips and help. If you're learning a foreign language, then we can go on this together. I'd also like to use these videos as kind of a record of my progress. So, you know, sometime down the future, I can look back and laugh at myself or cry a little bit on how brutal the beginning was. But everybody starts somewhere. We all got to start with that first step. So, with that, my 5-step plan is as follows. Step 1, no English rule. Now, you can find a bunch of TED Talks and YouTube videos and papers out there on the best way to learn a foreign language, the fastest way to learn a foreign language, the easiest way to learn a foreign language. But it all just comes down on you personally, how you learn, what's easiest for you, what you remember, what you can retain. And I saw a TED Talk. 2 gentlemen came up with this no English rule. And basically what that means is that whatever your target language is, you don't speak English while learning that target language. Now, in their case, they traveled and spent, I believe, 3 months in various locations. And in each location, they didn't speak any English. I mean, from day one, even if they didn't know any of the language, they Google translated their entire conversations with each other and with others. And by the end of that 3 months, they were having pretty decent conversations with natives. So I think that just throwing English out the window and just jumping in head first into whatever your target language is a good way to go. You're not translating anything per se. You're you switch your mind into that language. When I was in school, I took Spanish in high school, and the teacher said, don't translate things. Think of those objects in the foreign language. For instance, an apple. Don't think, okay, this is an apple. What is it in German? Ein Apfel. No, it's ein Apfel. That's what it is. It's not an apple. This is what it is in the target language. So I think that helps out a bit. Now I know I'm lucky, and I'm very grateful that I live with a native German. So I don't have to go on these apps or websites to try and find a language partner. Now, if you do, there are various apps and resources out there for you to pick up a language partner and start practicing that language. I live with my language partner, so there's really no excuse. Um, the unfortunate thing is she speaks English so well that you really wouldn't even know she's German. If I don't tell people she's German, they really can't pick it up through her accent or anything like that. So she thinks in English. We speak in English. We watch English, TV. So I need to get her on board as well, and I know she's more than willing to. That we just sit down and start speaking German, no English. And if I don't understand, she either needs to explain it in a different way in German so that I do understand, or I can Google some things, but then I'm responding in German. And I don't know if we'll do like an hour block or a 24-hour block, or what that's going to entail, but I do know that we will have no English rule. Maybe when I get home from work, it's just German until we go to bed. And it's going to be so tough, and it's going to be hard, which is the same thing as tough, but it'll get easier. I think after the first couple weeks of struggling through, like I said, I do know a lot of German words. It's just I don't hear it enough. So I think if she's speaking German to me, that'll help me pick up on the words in the sentence. So that's step one. So step two is to learn and use a new word every day. Now I'm part of an email thing that I signed up for, that I get a new German word sent to me in the email every day. It's usually verbs, I think, but it gives it in a sentence, like an example sentence. There's like a podcast, so I can hear the word, see it in a sentence, read it. So I think if I take these words and then try to use them, not just learn the word in email, but then use it throughout the day, whether or not I'm at work and I just throw this German word out there in the middle of an English sentence, that repetition will help with retaining that word into my known vocabulary. Step three, and this step we are already doing, but my wife and I text in German quite a bit. She'll text me in the morning, have a good day, hab einen guten Tag. So I respond in German. She'll ask me, when I'm coming home in German, and I'll respond in German. I think we need to do a little bit more of that. We do quite a bit, but it's usually the same thing all the time. So that helps in the sense that I'll never forget how to say "have a good day" in German. But if we expand on that a little bit more, if she's at the store and has a question, or if I'm at the store and I don't know where something is because I don't do the shopping, then I can ask her through text in German, and then that'll help with the reading part, and again expanding the vocabulary. Step number 4 is to watch more German TV shows and or movies. And this might include watching an American or English show and just having it dubbed in German or your target language. Because a lot of times on Netflix, a lot of the shows, you can choose the language in which it's dubbed. And then that way you might feel a little bit more comfortable watching a show that you already know or have seen in English and then just dubbing it in German. So you're not completely lost. But I will try and watch more German specific shows or movies. I know a lot of people have been talking about the movie or the series Dark, and so I'm going to start watching that one. I don't know if I'll do an episode every day depending on work schedule and what we're doing, but at least a couple times a week watch that and some others. I know my wife watches some of her German shows, she can find on Netflix or on YouTube or other streaming devices. So I think being able to listen to other native speakers and not just my wife will give me the opportunity to pick out words from different people that might say it a little bit different, or maybe there's just a little bit different dialect. But that should also increase the retention as well if I just keep hearing it over and over again. And the fifth and final steps I will take will be to continue studying from my books. I have a lot of German books and 1,000 flashcards that I've gone through once already, and I'm picking out the ones that I absolutely do know, and then I don't have to worry about reading those again or studying those, and others that I'm kind of iffy. I know the translation going from German to English, but not necessarily English to German, if that makes sense. I know the word. If I see it in German, I know what it is, but if I see it in English, I don't always remember the German word for it. So I will continue to do that. I also have German grammar books, German vocabulary books, workbooks, fill in the blanks, study guides. This is not going to be a big part of the learning process because sometimes it's just hard to understand the context if it's just within a book. But it'll be a good supplement to everything else that I will be doing. I know for me personally, my learning style, if I read it and then write it out, I remember it a little bit better than just reading it once or hearing it once. So I think if you write things out, it really sticks a little bit longer and it's a little easier to remember. So those will be part of the 5-step plan. So I'm excited to get the journey started. I'm really anxious to start learning German finally. If you liked the video and got any useful information out of it, please go ahead and hit the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you would, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos, especially of my language learning videos. There'll be more German spoken in the future. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bis später. Tschüss.